Namaste, friends. Welcome to JewelBuzz by JewelBuzz. Today, we are talking silver, specifically the Silver Show of India, Mumbai 3rd edition. It's my honor and pleasure to welcome the man behind the show, the one who has given the silver sector a platform to unite and a driver for growth, Mr. Shreekanth Urs, CEO-GES India. Namaste, Shreekanth bhai.
Namaste, Steve bhai. How are you doing?
Fine, and always a pleasure to connect with you. So, since
Thank
we
you
are
so
talking
much.
of silver, Shreekanth, a couple of lines. Your take, the current overview of the silver sector.
Next 15 years, silver is the only metal who's going to do well, Steve. That's the market news, and that's what the real professionals are talking about. So the next 15 years, it's only going to be silver.
Well, we are starting off on a very bullish and optimistic note, straight from the
Yeah.
horse's mouth, Mr. Shreekanth Urs.
Yeah.
So let's come to what the topic, Silver Show of India, coming to a major center, Mumbai. So you know what? Let's start with specifics. The number of exhibitors across how many stalls? Give us some figures, statistics.
331 exhibitors, about 849 stalls.
Okay. Number of visitors expected from India and abroad, if you can give us a breakup.
Around 15,000, Steve.
Around 15,000. That would include
Yeah.
a component from abroad?
Yeah, there is a large component from abroad. The neighboring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Burma. We've got a couple of registrations from Singapore. We've got a few registrations from Malaysia. So yeah, overall, we are getting good numbers from across the international borders also.
And from India, it would be in every region, right? Any specific?
Yeah, we've got registrations from right from Jammu to Kanyakumari, and from the north to the south, and from Gujarat to the northeast. We've got registrations from every
So we have
corner.
covered India basically. Yes.
Yeah.
Shreekanth bhai, if you could take us through the road shows, the promotions, how aggressively it was promoted, could you give us a sense of that?
See, we've got a very different way of promoting the show. We have tried road shows quite a bit, which we felt were never successful. So what we did was we concentrate more on a door-to-door campaign, and we have a very strong team, 6 teams, where every time when we do a show like this, we try and distribute invitations personally to almost about 1,25,000 retailers and wholesalers in the silver industry from Jammu to Kanyakumari. That's been a successful campaign for us, and then we are continuing to do that, Steve.
Shreekanth, another very important component for any trade show is the association with the trade bodies. Take us to the importance of the trade bodies you all have worked with.
Oh yeah, trade bodies are very, very important because they're very influential, and a lot of people believe that when exhibition is being associated with a trade body, it carries a lot more weightage, and so that's why IBJA has been our backbone for everything. They are all out with us. We just had a Zoom call about 2 days back with all the state heads, state presidents of IBJA, and headed by Chetan Bhai and Surender Bhai, where targets have been given to each state president to get buyers from across all districts in their respective states and things like that. So these are the roles where an association can play with and get some good buyers. And when the association speaks, the weightage of the exhibition goes very high.
Shreekanth bhai, if you could comment on the timing of the show, why do you think it's appropriate, the June 6th to 9th period?
I think it's just 1 month after Tritiya, and after June, you have the festival season coming in, the marriage season coming in. There is something called Varma Lakshmi in the south, which is very predominantly celebrated in Andhra and Karnataka. And for that, silver is a big metal, which they use. So that gets covered. And somehow we've been ahead of the other big shows, so that's been an advantage for us. And after June, July, you have Ganesh, you have Gokulashtami, then you have Ganesh Chaturthi, then followed by Dashara, followed by Diwali. So it goes on, every 15 days, something or the other is happening in the Indian festival season. And silver, per se, either it's jewelry or articles, they need a little more time. If it's 9 to 5 silver jewelry, then it has to come from abroad. So that transit time, all that takes some time, a little more time than what is required generally. And the articles, obviously, it has to be handmade and things like that. So since it's a bulky item, that also takes time. So ideally, June is the right time. It's been tried and tested from the last couple of years. In fact, the last 3 years, because our first edition of June was in Bangalore, it was a super hit. And the consecutive 2 editions of June was in Mumbai. So 3 years on the trot, we have tested, and it's been a great timing for us.
If you could take us through the facility's special features for exhibitors and visitors, any special?
See, as you know, we have a very unique, way of marketing our show where we have hosted buyers. So we are hosting almost about 1,100 good buyers, and we have given them good facilities in 5-star hotels. Like we have tied up with Grand Hyatt, and we have tied up with Aurika and things like that. We are arranging a lot of shuttle service for them. And for the exhibitor per se, we have increased the level of infrastructure what we used to give them in terms of showcases, in terms of lighting, in terms of a lot of things. We've added up this time so that it gives them special space to display their brands, their products. So every year we are trying to improve, a bit by bit. We are learning from our past, and then we're trying to put better things in our future show. And this time over, we have done a lot of changes, especially in the infrastructure, Steve. Stall infrastructure.
Thanks for all the information, Shreekanth Bhai. So before we let you go, before we sign off, a message to the silver trade and industry from you.
Yeah, I think as I told you at the start of this small conversation we had, next 15 years is going to be only silver. And what I hear from the market is a lot of big people have held on to buying. They are all thinking about buying in SSI. Today morning also I spoke to a couple of my clients, who are participating. Saying, Shreekanth bhai, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है market में, सब बोल रहे हैं कि हम SSI में आएंगे, हम SSI में आएंगे. So there is some, there is a huge expectation of the show, and we are working towards, making that expectation into a reality. We are working very hard. My entire team is working very hard, and I think we will have a rockbuster again. It's going to be another superb show coming up.
To the man who put silver in the spotlight, Mr. Shreekanth Urs. Namaste, and thank you, Shreekanth bhai, for being
Thank you, Steve bhai. Jai Hind. Thank you.
From JewelBuzz to you and the entire team at GES, all the very best.
Thank you so much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, SSI Mumbai 3rd edition, 6 to 9 June 2025. Save the dates.